In this video, I'm working through the Polestar Pilates program design and sequencing categories. So I'm starting off with supine integration. So we start off lying on our backs, ready to do bridging as our first exercise. So this part of the video will be the warm-up section. So we start off going into the bridge after we've done just a little pelvic tilt forward and back to start mobilizing the hips. And then start to roll the spine up into a bridge. So we think of peeling the spine off the mat, one bone at a time. Lengthen the tailbone past your knees. I was going to say when the wall meets the ceiling, but here I'm thinking of lengthening my tailbone up towards the sky. Each time you roll up and down, have a feeling of length through the spine, as if you're getting more space in between each vertebrae. And then increase the challenge by lifting one leg at a time. So you keep your hips up high, float one knee towards the sky, press down with the other heel to keep the hips up high and level. Roll on down. So I'm only doing around about 4 repetitions of each exercise in this video for time. Generally, we do 8 to 10 repetitions of each exercise. So now I'm going to go into the category of supine abdominals, and I'm going to do the hundreds prep. So inhale to reach back, exhale to curl up, stretching the legs towards the sky whenever you're ready, lengthening the lower back on the mat. Now if you'd like to increase the challenge, stretch the legs out till they're maybe 10, 15 centimeters off the floor. Breathe in for 5, breathe out for 5. Keep your eye gaze looking through the level of your heels. Lengthen the lower back on the mat. Pump the arms vigorously, in for 5 and out for 5, until you've counted to 100. Bring the knees into the chest, roll on up to sitting, and then reach forward. And now we go into the roll-up exercise. The roll-up exercise is really similar to bridging, that you're peeling the spine off the mat, one bone at a time, and placing the spine back down one bone at a time. Have that feeling of length throughout the spine, and a big exhale as you roll up. Then we go into the preparation for single leg stretch. So I'm doing a seated prep so that we know the arms and the legs. So you have one hand to your knee and the other hand towards your ankle or on your shin. And then we change the legs, pulling the knee towards the chest and pushing away with the leg. Then reach on up for the single straight leg stretch. So now you're up a little bit higher than the tips of your shoulder blades. So a little bit more challenge to your tummy muscles. Roll on down, go into leg circles 1. So you go across the body and then circle around. Aim to keep the hips as still and stable as it feels good on your body. So you circle around and then stretch the other leg up towards the ceiling. So generally we exhale as the leg moves away. And if you notice any clicking in your hips, you might want to change this movement to more of an oval shape rather than a circle. So do what feels best in your body. Bring both knees into the chest, roll on up to sitting. We do the preparation now for the double leg stretch. So we reach the arms and the legs away and then circle the arms around as the knees come back in towards your chest. Roll down just above the tips of your shoulder blades keeping your lower back lengthened on the mat. And you might like to inhale as you reach away and exhale as the knees come into the chest. So you're squeezing all the air out of your lungs. A full exhale gives you the need for a full inhale. And then we go into double straight leg stretch. Keep the lower back lengthened on the mat. And you're moving at the hip joint. Great exercise to tone your abs. Only go as far as you can keep your lower back on the mat. And then roll on up to balance behind your sitting bones, ready for rolling like a ball. We inhale to roll back and exhale to roll on up and balance. So I've started with my hands behind my knees and my elbows out wide to try and make my spine as round as possible. Then to increase the challenge, now I make myself into a smaller ball. So hands around my shins, balance behind the sitting bones each time you come up. And then pause here, stretch out the legs, reach the arms forward, exhale to roll down and roll over. Aiming the sitting bones towards the ceiling and then rolling down one bone at a time. Circle the legs at the bottom of the movement. So this exercise is similar to bridging, similar to roll up, but a little bit more challenging now on the lowering down phase because you've got to work against the weight of your legs. And then we finish here, roll on up. And we finish the warm-up portion of the workout. This video has the middle section of the Polestar Pilates program design and sequencing categories. So in the middle of your workout or the middle of designing a class, we have the categories of upper extremity weight bearing, spine extension, seated and side lying. And we can do these movements in any order that fits with the workout or fits with your class. And it's good to make the exercises flow one into the other. You can change from an upper extremity weight bearing category to prone extension or spine extension to side lying to seated. And it makes the class more interesting. So here I'm doing the dart exercise. And again, I've only done around about 4 repetitions of each movement just for the sake of keeping the video relatively short. So I'm going into the swan. So inhale to come on up. And exhale to lower on down. Go into swan 2, so we rock and roll down and up, pushing the floor away through the heels of the hands. Sit back for a moment, stretch out your back, and then go into a preparation for single leg kick. So I like to start this on my elbows in a plank position, lower down to the top of the thighs. Think of drawing the body forward through your elbows. And then we do 2 kicks on each side. Kick, kick, stretch the leg, hover the knee for just a moment. And think of drawing your belly button away from the floor. From here, we can turn into the side kick series. So here I'm keeping my hand, my supporting arm on the floor, and I've got my elbow aligned with my hip, just to help give me a sense of alignment We're aiming to keep the hips as still as stable, the torso stable, and then lengthening the legs. So depending on your flexibility and range of movement, the legs can go a little bit in front of the body. See what feels best. Keep balancing on the side hip. And then take the leg behind. Come on up into a seated position, ready to go into the mermaid. So remember, if it's uncomfortable for you to sit in a Z sit and keep both sitting bones pretty close to the floor, feel free to sit on a block or roll up the mat, or even have diamond-shaped legs. So after we've done the side bend, we add some rotation. So we exhale, squeeze all the air out of your lungs, and then reach up and over to side bend on the other side. Now we come on up into kneeling side kick. So kneeling side kick could go into a couple of different categories. It could be still in the category of side lying, or it could be in the category of upper extremity weight bearing. So as you're doing this movement, again, trying to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other, keeping the hips still and stable, keeping the torso still and stable. From here, I'm going into a prep for the double leg kick. So because this is an intermediate to advanced workout, I'm putting double leg kick into the category of spine extension. So I'm doing the kneeling prep so that when we go down onto the ground, we know what to do. So step out into the plank, hold the plank position for a moment and then lower down into the push-up. Clasp your hands behind your back and look to one side, 3 kicks, and then reach away. 3 kicks, stretch your arms towards your heels and aim your chest forward. And then circle the arms around, go into swimming. Again, this is an intermediate to advanced exercise, so I've added in swimming here in the spine extension category. Press back into a cat stretch for a moment, then go out onto your other side hip, ready for the side kick series. So we inhale to kick forward, exhale to lengthen the leg back. Great exercise to work into your hamstrings as you kick forward and your hip flexors as you lengthen back. Leg circles, getting nice mobility at the hip joint. And then go into the développés. So you can see that my knee is quite in front of my body so that I'm not shortening at the side waist, or trying not to shorten at the side waist at least. And then take the leg behind. Come on up into the mermaid position again. So exhale to go over into the big side bend. Great exercise to mobilize the upper body and open up through the rib cage. And this can help to take compression from the lower back. So we exhale to twist around. Inhale to reach to the side bend. Exhale and twist. And then reach up and over. Come on up into the kneeling side kick. So tap up and down, and then finish with the leg as parallel to the floor as you can get it. Inhale to kick forward, exhale to lengthen back. So this is it. This is a progression of the side kick series. It's a little bit more harder because we've reduced the base of support by balancing on one arm and one knee. Turn onto the front, go into your plank position. And now balance on the side of your foot or the blade of your foot. We go into the side bend. So side bend is in the category of upper extremity weight bearing. I think it can also go into the category of side lying because you're on your side. And then from here, lower down into a long sit position, ready for the spine stretch. I was just having a look then to see if I'd managed to round my spine. So we exhale as we curl up and over. So you think of lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head and then round the spine as you come up and over. Scoop your tummy muscles in so you can feel some abdominal tone. Separate the legs a little bit more, ready to go into spine twist. So spine stretch, spine twist, and the mermaid could all be in the category of seated. And because this is an intermediate to advanced workout, now I'm going into the saw. So I've used those exercises to help me prep for the saw, but now I'm adding in a little bit more of an arm prep. So one hand onto the shoulder, one hand around the rib cage. So direct your eye gaze to the underneath of your back hand. Try to make a really long diagonal line from fingertip to fingertip. And then come on up into seated. This last part of the video has the last 3 categories in the Polestar Pilates program design and sequencing categories. So we've got full body integration, inverted and standing. I haven't done any standing exercises because I can't get them in the shot, but usually the standing exercise would be a push-up or standing balance 1 or 2. So what I've got into first is the twist. So this is going into the category of full body integration because it's got multiple moving parts, and we've prepped for this exercise during the rest of the class. So categories 3, 4, 5 and 6 can go in any order, and they're the exercises that prepare you to do the harder exercises. So we've done the mermaid, we've done kneeling side kick, we've done side bend, so that'll get you ready to do the twist. But I've done an extra prep here on one knee, just to get the upper body reminded again of what it needs to do. So we go up and over into a side plank and then exhale, twist through the rib cage first, then the waist and then the hips. And the eyes follow the hand. And then from here, I've gone into the crisscross. So we already did the legs. We did the single leg stretch earlier on in the warm-up. So we know the legs. We've done spine twist, we've done mermaids, and we've done the twist. We've also done the saw, which help us to get ready for the crisscross. So we exhale and twist through the upper body, keeping the hips still, aiming to get the opposite armpit to the knee. And then I've gone into the exercise side to side. So side to side is in your pre-Pilates mat, and we usually start it with bent knees. I've gone straight into straight legs because it's an advanced class and it's towards the end of the workout, and that's helping to get ready for the corkscrew. So we aim the toes to the corner of the mat, roll down on the side of the spine, do a U-turn around your tailbone, and then come on up, balance in between the center. So we go to the side, roll down the side of your spine, do a little circle of the legs around your tailbone, and then come back to the center. And then from here, step into a plank position, lower down in the push-up position. And then the next full body integration exercise is the Swan 3. So we often forget that we can have the extension exercises in full body integration, but make sure when you're teaching a class you don't have too many flexion exercises in one go. Come on up into a teaser prep. So there's lots of different teaser preps. It's nice to start off using the hands for the first one or two. And then come on up into the full teaser, balance behind your sitting bones. Stretch one leg high, stretch the other leg high, stretch both legs high. And then reach the fingertips in the same direction as the toes. Then we can go into another inverted exercise, control balance. So we've done rollovers, we've done single straight leg stretch earlier in the workout. So now we can go into control balance. Catch hold of your ankles, come on up into an open leg rocker. Balance behind the sitting bones as you come up. And then the last full body integration exercise I'm going to do is the boomerang. So the boomerang is a combination of rolling, combination of open leg rocker, the teaser. Got some commonalities of the arms with the double leg stretch. Great exercise to finish your class because it's fun. Pause behind your sitting bones, reach the arms up towards the sky, and then go over for a nice finish like you're the dying swan from the ballet Swan Lake. And then balance and finish.